A warm thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video. If you need a website or domain, go to squarespace.com/AlexArmitage to save 10% off your first purchase. I'm in a really privileged position here as a photographer on YouTube because I'm not limited by my equipment anymore to create the art that I want to create. I've got multiple cameras with different sensor types. I've got a ton of lenses that range all the way from ultra wide to super telephoto. And I've got years of experience in editing images so that I can create whatever it is I can come up with. Yet I found myself enjoying and connecting with my photography more by leaving all of that behind and trying to see the world in a different way. Thus, in this video, we're going to be doing exactly that, except I'm going to take a step further than I have in past videos, and I'm going to limit myself to only 36 images. This means I've got to be more specific about the images I create, and the best part is I'm going to show you every image. Yes, even all of the bad ones. I wrote a quote recently from Orson Welles that said, "The enemy of art is the absence of limitations." Thus, I'm going to try to limit myself as much as I possibly can without paying for film, because not in this economy, and I'm hoping that this transparency in the way you get to see me work is more relatable to you. It's more real. Instead of just seeing the best of the best in a curated feed, you get to see all of the images I take. Yes, even all of the garbage ones. Today we're going to be shooting on the Nikon Zf, and as you already know from the title, there's not going to be any editing either. I'm just going to be using some Nikon recipes, and all of these are going to be straight out of camera. Let's dive in. All right, so I feel like this is going to be the hardest shot to take, the first one. Because for me, the idea of using up shots and only having a limited amount is honestly terrifying. Because first of all, I've never done it, but also my whole life I'm the type of person that like saves things in case I need them. So like just starting to take the images is going to be the hardest part. So I always feel like this first image is kind of like a throwaway image. And that throwaway image is going to make it where I can actually take the rest of the images. So this first one, don't judge me too hard on it. Here we go. Okay, that's one. I gotta take one more because my horizon line was completely off because I was looking at this camera and not this camera. So that's 3 shots. Only 33 left. We've only got 33 left. This is terrifying. Okay, this is a shot that I like, but I don't know if it's worth one of the 33 shots that I have left. Oh, this is tough. Okay, I'm not gonna take it. Well, no, I'm not gonna take it. So, I'm trying to make this work because I like the shapes and the colors of this lighthouse, but I'm trying to make sure I get it right on the first shot so that I don't have to use 2 again. But there's this big modern tower on the left-hand side that I'm trying to keep out of the frame, while also just really kind of honing in on the shapes of the building. Okay, I just need to take the shot. The comp is good. There's a lot of nice lines. The colors look good. Maybe I should overexpose it just a bit. Yeah, that looks a lot better. What'd you find over here?
It's a very pretty piece of driftwood.
Oh.
This is the best kind of photography where it comes in with a built-in seat.
Oh. What are you waiting for?
The people to move.
Oh, yeah, there's people behind your shot.
Got some very bright hats.
Are you only taking 36 shots?
No.
What?
Well, if I am, I might actually be done.
Guess how many I've taken?
How many have you taken?
5.
Wow, good job.
Well, actually, that's a lie. I cheated and accidentally took 3 shots when I was going to grip my camera to take that thing off the tripod, but I deleted them and I'm not going to tell anyone.
Your finger slipped.
Yeah.
Whoops, 20 shots. Whoops, they were all bad. Oh no, gotta delete them.
There goes the video. So I noticed as we were leaving that the shapes and the light on this side of the lighthouse were so much better. The only problem is, because I'm stuck at 40 mil, if I want to get the top of the lighthouse, the comp is just not nearly as pleasing. So right now I'm actually just cutting off the top part of the lighthouse and just waiting for the flag to blow in the wind correctly. I'm not totally in love with the comp. Maybe if I walk back a little bit more. Okay, I've backed up. I'm taking portrait now. I would love to crop the top and the bottom off. Can I do that in camera? Okay, I found that I can change my image area on the Nikon Zf here to 1:1 or 60:9, or just, you know, your normal 3:2. So we're gonna go 1:1. I think I want, it's a really nice shot, but I think I want to add just a touch of glow to it. So I think I'm gonna get my glow filter out. Oh yeah, that's nice. There it is. So Sophia and I are out exploring this island, and this little scene back here we drove by earlier, and it is just like a perfect old gas station repair shop that looks like it's actually still in use, but it still has a lot of charm to it. So I'm gonna try to take a shot of this right now. Let's take this one right here. Overexposing on purpose to kind of get that brighter atmosphere, but I think this is going to be worth at least more than one shot. I've also brought my handy dandy glow filter here, which is nice because I've got it right here in the pocket, and I might take one with this. All right, so I just took 4 images, and I'm wondering if I have a bit of regret because that's quite a lot to use up. We've taken 13 images so far. That means we have, if I do my math correctly, 23 images left. So more than half, and honestly, I can probably be a little bit more lenient if I really like something, which is why I shot multiple shots of this particular place, because it's just got a lot of charm, great look. It's everything I want in a photo, mid-afternoon driving around this cute little island. Okay, so what are all these little stops we keep making? What's going on in this island? Why do these, I don't understand.
This island is full of farm stands. They use the cottage law where they can sell whatever they want, small goods, on the side of the road pretty much. And we found this beautiful one. Look at all these flowers.
Are you gonna get anything?
Yeah, I have to.
Is that the one you're getting?
Can you Venmo them, please?
Me?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so there's this old Datsun truck right here on the road as Sophia and I walk around eating food, and, well, she's somewhere over here shopping. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do 2x3 or my only other option, square 1x1. I think 2x3 looks the best. So I'm gonna take that photo. And I think the diffusion filter is gonna add a nice bit of just a touch of vintage to the image, especially where all the highlights are on the reflections in the chrome on the car. The light's really nice because it's hitting just like the top of the car, and it's creating some really nice contrast in the image.
So our ferry got delayed, and right next to the ferry dock, if you're from Seattle and you've been to this island, there's this cute little free book library that's in kind of this small church-like structure. And I'm trying to find a composition that works with the light that I got, because right now the light is out here, and this is all in shadow. And I'm just trying to find something that works for, you know, the one, maybe 2 shots that I'm gonna take of it. Like this wide shot's kind of nice, but this camera's a lot wider than the Nikon. Huh. I don't know. All right, we ended up using up 3 shots on that little spot, and I think I needed a wider perspective to really make it work or try to capture what I was trying to capture. But we tried. We've got about 12 shots left, and I think I'm probably gonna take most of them on the ferry, because on the trip over here, we had like, I don't know, 6 minutes. I felt like I had no time to find a shot that I liked. So hopefully we'll find one on the way back, depending on the light. So I think, if my count is right, I have 7 images left. We've taken 29 images. But I gotta say, there was 2 on the ferry that I feel like I shouldn't have taken, but I did anyways, just because I felt like I was under this time pressure. Because I feel like the ferry ride that we just went on is like literally 6 minutes. I mean, it's a little bit longer than that, but you leave your car, you come up, you're up for a bit, which is like 6 minutes, and you're back down to your car, and I just felt like I was walking around trying to make images happen. And one of the images was through the window. You could see Rainier, but it was just so hazy. And I just don't think you can see it with that focal length, that 40 mil, and I just don't think it worked. And another one was this really cool shadow pattern that I shot in black and white that looked nice in person. Like theoretically, there was just some really cool stuff going on there. But I just don't think I took the time to make it work because of that constraint of being on the ferry. And I will admit, the restriction of only having these 36 images meant that when I took one black and white, I was like, I'm only giving it 1. Whereas I think normally I would have taken a bunch, but I wouldn't have had to think about my comp as much. I would have just thought about a comp, shot it, moved comp, shot it. I don't need to think about it as much because I just have a bunch of options. Where in this case, I think about it. Well, I didn't think about it a lot because I only had 6 minutes, probably even less than that. And it needed more time if I was only gonna give it 1 shot. But we've got 7 shots left. We're out here. Back here is the Seattle Skyline. We're back on the mainland. Like right now there's a ferry going. Let's see if we can capture or make up a shot with that. No, it's all in silhouette. I didn't take the image. Oh, and by the way, if you're interested in the recipes that I use on any of these images, you can find all of those completely free on my website by going to nikonrecipe.com. Thankfully, because of today's sponsor, Squarespace, the domain and website for those recipes was super easy to create. After spending years building and designing my own web pages, I switched to Squarespace more than 8 years ago. I genuinely cannot recommend them enough as a platform to help you create beautiful websites, display your work with very minimal effort. That's one of the reasons I switched nearly a decade ago. Even though I could design and develop my own websites, I found myself spending way too much time optimizing, updating, and trying to make it look modern. Squarespace saved me an incredible amount of time in development, removed the headache of the updates on the back end, and to top it all off, their designs and templates look fantastic. You can try out Squarespace today completely free with their trial to see just how easy it is. And if you enjoy your experience like I have for the past 8 years, you can use code AlexArmitage at checkout or just by visiting squarespace.com/AlexArmitage, and you're gonna save 10% off your first purchase, but you're also gonna help support this channel. thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. So I'm trying to use this either in focus or out of focus to create something interesting in the foreground, but I can't quite figure out where I want it to be. Okay, so I ended up going with this shot. Now remember, I'm shooting at 40 mil, so definitely more zoomed in, where this pillar is on the left and this is on the right. And I shot this directly in the center, and I pointed it, like I went up and moved this and placed it just ever so slightly to the left. And we focused on that. I'm shooting at, let me check, f2.8, and just focus on this with the skyline in the background blurred out. I think that it's a bit too blurred to really get a good sense of where it is, but I really like the way that it looks. And I think it turned out okay. And there's a boat going back in the background. But I think I'm also going to try one with a slightly smaller aperture to get more of the skyline in the background, not necessarily in focus, but being able to tell what it is a bit more while still having the separation between this in the background. Let's try f5.6. f5.6, pretty much the same exact shot. Just right there, glow filter on. Okay. Let's see if that worked. Okay, yes. Still, the aesthetics are just not nearly as nice. You know, you can't have them both, I guess, in the same shot. Like the aesthetics on the water, the way the water looks in the shot that's shot at f2.8 looks a lot nicer, but you get more definition in the city in the background on the 5.6. And if I go any smaller, it's just going to be, there's not going to be any depth to the image. So I think those are the two we're going to take of that particular composition. Yeah, I think one will work. So that's, what's it, 1, 2, I got 5 images left. 5 images left.
All right, so I don't know what happened with this clip, but my audio cut out within a second of starting it. It was like my mic disconnected or something. But basically I go on to explain that I took a few images of that scene and then noticed the shadows on the ground. I took one closer up to that little lookout spot, and then I backed up and saw all the shadows in the ground that I'm pointing at right now in the video. And I just kept backing up until I really found a composition where the top of the frame was the Seattle skyline and 2/3 of the bottom of the frame were the shadows on the ground. I ended up snapping one image without my glow filter on, but then later a boat was coming through and I decided to put the glow filter on, give that more vintage look, and wait for the boat to be in the right part of the frame to kind of balance part of the skyline and a bit of the symmetry, or the shadows being on more of the left part of the frame and the boat being on the right part of the frame. I ended up shooting like 5 images of this scene in different ways, and that means that I only had 2 images left. But I do think that this is probably one of the strongest images I took throughout the day. I've got one shot left, and I am scared to take it because it's like if I take the one shot, then and if I see something else, I just gotta skip it. That's terrifying. If I keep the one shot, then I can take anything. So it's kind of like, if I keep it, then the possibilities are endless. If only my memory card could hold thousands of other images. That would be fantastic. So this is the shot. Let's turn on some active D-lighting to get a little bit more of these shadows out. Let's try to line everything up so none of the buildings are in the way of the trees. Make sure the horizon is straight. The last image, here we go. There it is. That's the last one. Okay. All right, that last image probably would do really well with like a 2x1 or even an X-Pan crop, but I only have 2 crop modes. Default 2x3 and square on this Nikon Zf, unless you guys know of a different crop besides 16x9. I probably could have used 16x9. That actually may have worked. Well, in hindsight, 16x9 would have been slightly better for that image, but you know, at the end of the day, I can always go and edit that if I want to, but not for this video. This has been an interesting experiment. It definitely really pushed my creative boundaries in terms of
really focusing on images and also walking away from images that might have worked, but I didn't take them because I didn't want to use up one of my shots. If you end up enjoying this and you liked the restrictions of the amount of images I could take, or no editing, or just not curating anything and showing you everything that I took to make it feel a bit more transparent and real, I would love to know in the comments. Or if you want to just give this video a like or consider subscribing if you're not already, that would be great too. I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you for watching. There's got to be a rainbow out there somewhere. We just got to go find it. I'll see you on the next one. Later.